Hello everyone, Railgan here with another replay. This time we're having a look at the balanced test map and the game that I played against Indy. It's the only person that I found so far that I can actually play this map against, because most other people, well, they either don't want to play or they are too bad. Then they just kind of get destroyed. But he's a very good player, so I'm able to have some fun games with him. And I want to show you some of the new changes, right? You're all excited to see them. Already made a video where I talked about them. And today we're actually seeing them in action. I think I'm going to use pretty much all the new Zerg stuff. I'm going to play a very weird opener, a very bad one. And it will put me very far behind, but that's okay. Because I'm going for 2-base Infestor. I already tried 2-base Swarmhost against Protoss and that went really well. So I was like, well, how bad can 2-base Infestor be? 2-base Mass Infestor. Well, figured it can be pretty bad against Phoenix. So I'm going for 4 gas, 2 bases, Infestation Pit, Infestor upgrade and Burrow. I kind of did, I mean, some of you might watch my stream, so you might have caught this live. A viewer requested that I'm using the new Infestor ability, where they can teleport around and stuff. I was like, well, I'll give it a try, right? First of all, they look like Brood Lords while they're burrowed. I'm not quite sure why. I mean, these are Brood Lord cocoons, right? Pretty sure they are. Oh, I'm using some of the... One of the new ability for the Infestor is that they can now use their abilities while they're burrowed, so I'm making use of that. Not really too effective, but we're kind of getting there, right? Already what we notice is that I'm behind about 30 workers. The Protoss is going for his 4th base. Protoss is living his life like he's living the dream. Way ahead, way ahead. 24 workers there, so he has a lot of probes. So I was like, well, these Infestors... Wait, I'm gonna go back a little bit. Excuse me. Kind of missed that. Right here I'm moving here with my links so I can then fly my Infestors over here. It's a new ability, the Deep Tunnel. Sadly the Infestors still can't pass certain objects like other units. Even if you burrow them, they still have the collision box of a unit that is not burrowed. Kind of weird in my opinion, but I guess Blizzard's way of balancing. I have these Infestors still in the main base. The others mostly died, so I was like, well, what the hell? This is a terrible strategy. So I've used 50 energy to go here, 50 energy to go home, and then what? I throw down some infested Terrans, funnel the mineral line. Just a lot of energy and a lot of resources investment into that. He's going for the Tempest, which is quite annoying to deal with. Well, I'm going for this Swarmhost. So we have Swarmhost, Ling, Infestor against Phoenix, Tempest, Immortal. Now listening to this you will probably realize that I don't have a unit that actually shoots up besides the Queens and Infested Terrans. So we'll have to make some creative use of those units, right? The Swarmhost is kind of bugged if we play it at faster speed. It's just bugged in general, the walking animation. Probably on my end. Right here we see the new Disruptor balls that do a lot of damage, the Death Ball. And well, the Swarmhosts are very cheap, so you can afford a lot of them. I'm just kind of shooting at this base, taking out a lot of his stuff, because the Tempests don't really kill ground units too quickly, unless they use their big goofy ball. And now we're going to also see the new Hydralisks and the burrowed neural parasite in action very soon. So I apologize for my Swarmhosts being bugged, because they technically have their ability on cooldown, but you cannot see that. Also taking this base right now. I'm still on 3 bases. I kind of figured that he is as well, but I never really scouted. It's just a fun game where I wanted to try some of the new units. The Swarmhosts go of course in, the Locusts, and take care of some cannons and stuff very quickly. They're very cheap, so very affordable. Now getting the Hydralisks, which did get a range and a movement speed buff on creep. Range buff of course also off creep. Now we see the move out of the Protoss, so I was like, okay. So how am I going to kill this army? Well, first of all, he puts down the preemptive Doom Balls, the Death Balls. So I sent my Locusts his way, then I Neural Parasite his Tempests while my units are underground. And I just completely kill everything on the ground, right? All his ground units die. His air units kind of struggle as well. I even took that Archon, or God knows why. And well, that's pretty much that, right? I pushed him back. He of course just remakes more Archons and Tempests, because why not? I'm just trying to make use of the new units, test them out a little bit, see how what they feel like. Going up here with my Hydras, I realized that, well, attacking into cannons does not sound too promising. Sending my Locusts in sounds promising though. Of course, it would be smarter to just go Mass Corruptor and things like that, but hope you guys understand why I went for the Hydras, to try them. Yes, those of you who are going to write in the comments, just build the Corruptors and the Vipers, abduct them, and then Corruptors will kill the Tempests. Yes, I know. Because the Tempests also got a buff, or rather a nerf against ground units, so I thought, well, maybe the Hydralisks are actually going to be decent now. And I wanted to give them a try. But the Death Balls do a lot of damage to my ground units as well. To my Hydras. I can kind of take care of all his Zealots and Archons with my Locusts. I lost some of my Swarmhosts sadly, and my Infestors are there to Neural Parasite and Fungal a bit. Right here we see more Locusts immediately making all his ground units explode. The Immortals kind of survive, much to my disliking. We have a Swarmhost Hydralisk army, that's something you see every day. Swarmhost Hydra Infestor. And we're just kind of, well, harassing a little bit and stuff like that. So you just fly here, see if we can do some damage. Attack down here as well. Now he has carriers, right? Hydralisks are not really good against carriers to begin with. Carriers also got a buff. Technically, as long as the carrier number is low, you can just kill the interceptors. They're very cheap now, so that's a huge buff, but you don't really... I mean, it's better to just kill the carrier, right? If the carrier gets away, then that's not good either. Right here we see another huge Locust engagement. Well, sadly I did not really bring any detection with me, so my army kind of twaddled around, didn't really do too much. My Locusts couldn't land, couldn't see, they were blind. Mothership cloaked all his Archons, and the Archons do a lot of damage to Hydras. They do a lot of damage to every Zerg unit, pretty much, except maybe the Ultralisk and, well, the Broodlord if they can't reach them. Right here we see another Doomball attack. Rip the workers, it even kills the buildings, right? Just throw 5 balls on a building. Trying to kill some of his Archons. Tried to Neural Parasite the Mothership, did not quite manage to do that. Not sure how long the cooldown on that ability is. It's decent. Not too long though, I think. Wow, rip the larva. Kind of glad it has a cooldown and not energy, as the Protoss would start saving up that one, the Tempest energy as well. Well, I mean, I felt a little bit lost right here. I wanted to somehow beat him with the Hydralisks, but I couldn't quite manage to do that. So I figured I need to somehow engage on top of him and just get one really big fight. If he takes out this space, I've lost anyway. So I'm kind of preparing myself for him to attack down here, and then I realized, well, he's just gonna blow my economy to bits and pieces. I was like, okay, guess we need to fight. So I move up here, throw down my locusts. My overseers of course give me vision before they run into their death. It's kind of running away, and then I neural parasite the mothership, cloaking my units now. The Hydralisks are standing in the death ball. My queens are transfusing, but he still has too many Archons left and too much in the sky as well, so he finally manages to clean me up and win this game. Right here, right now. Doesn't really have too many interceptors left. It was a pretty close fight. Had I managed to clean the ground army completely with my Swarmhosts, and perhaps by not suiciding all my overseers, then probably would have gone different. But I kind of ran out of money. He was still making 5 carriers at home, so even if I win that fight, his next push would probably end the game, since he has a very good economy. But it was just a fun game where I managed to show off some of the abilities. It's work. The Swarmhost, my favorite new unit, Kappa. And I hope you enjoyed this, so I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you all for watching. Bye.